Welcome, boys. I thought I'd do a video to discuss. Obviously, the January transfer window has been open now for a week or so, and I thought I'd do a video looking at some of the links that we've had and three players in particular. So, obviously, as we know, Steve Bruce has said that there's not much money available. COVID has affected everyone's finances, and there may be a couple of loan deals that we can do, but don't expect any big signings. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at four players who have all been linked with Newcastle. The first one that I'm going to talk about is Brandon Williams. Brandon Williams obviously has been around for about a year or so. He's a 20-year-old left back. He was played, I think last season he made about 18 appearances for Manchester United and got some good reviews, to be honest. He was seen as like Luke Shaw's understudy. I think that Ollie probably thought that left back was still relatively weak position for them, and he probably doesn't trust Luke Shaw to be the first choice, and so he went and got Alex Telles, which meant that Brandon Williams went down to third choice at left back, and obviously he's hardly played this season. Don't think he started any games, one substitute appearance, and so he is now looking to move on loan. I think they're looking at the idea of seeing how he gets on loan. If he does really well, then they'll bring him back. Obviously, homegrown talent. For us, I think we are struggling in the left back situation. Jamal Lewis has not settled in very well. I think the Brentford game probably was the biggest example of how he struggles physically in the Premier League. And so he is a player that we would should be definitely thinking about. We should definitely be thinking about strengthening that position, because I don't think Matt Ritchie again he's not natural in the left wing back position either, or left back position. So for me, Brandon Williams, I would say, is a 7 out of 10. That would be a decent signing for us because we need to strengthen depth in the left back area. Personally, I would go for Jeffrey Williams instead. I think with Jeffrey Williams, he'll be someone who's more experienced. He's played for Newcastle before, and he understands the situation of Newcastle and everything like that. So, yeah, but Brandon Williams I would take, but because he's young and up and coming, but I would personally go for Jeffrey Williams instead. Okay, next player we're going to talk about who has been linked with Newcastle is that of Jesse Lingard. So I think everyone knows Jesse Lingard. He's a 28-year-old. He's been at Man U for quite a while. Really, 24 caps for England, 4 goals. An experienced player, has done things like starring at 2018 World Cup, scoring winner in an FA Cup final. But basically his career's gone. He's really struggled over the last year or two to keep his position in the team. He became quite a meme because of no goals, no assists. People are always laughing at him and so forth. He probably wants to move. He probably wants to move to kind of restart his career because he's only 28, and he would be seen because at the moment he's not going to be getting in ahead of Fernandes, Van der Beek, or even in the wide areas at Manchester United. So made 0 appearances in the Premier League this year. He probably needs a fresh start, especially if he wants to get back in the England squad and so forth. I personally think he's a decent player. I don't think he's a great or good player. Looking at our system, at the moment, he could play from the left instead of Joe Linton. I think he's probably better than Joe Linton in that position. He could also play in the 3. He played in the 3-5-2 for England, so he would know how to play. So he could probably play with Hayden and Matty Longstaff behind him. But for me, the one thing I have real doubts of with Lingard is I don't think we really need someone who's a creative playmaker. And I don't think Lingard is that. Lingard's more a player who will kind of try and find gaps and chances and spaces to try and help him. Um, for a loan, would I take the gamble? Possibly, because we do need someone in that position. But I feel it's an unimaginative signing. It's so easy just to go to, oh, Manchester United, he's not playing for Man U, let's go get him. I think as well with Lingard, he's obviously someone who's grown up as a Manchester United fan. Has played for. It might be a shock to him to come and play for us. Personally, I would definitely think that we should get someone else. I think we can do better than Jesse Lingard. So I would say for him, I would rate it as a 4 out of 10 for me. I think there's better options if we could be a bit more imaginative and get someone else in. So, my personal opinion. The next one that we have been linked with is Phil Jones. Again, unimaginative signing. Phil Jones is incredibly only 28, and I feel he's been around for ages. A guy who's played 27 times for England, but really, if you look at his last few years, made 0 appearances in the Premier League this year. So basically, since 20, he's really not really hit many marks. Only 2 appearances last year. He's had a lot of injuries, loss of form, and his career has basically gone downhill very quickly. Because we play 3-5-2, people say that he would be a great option. However, I feel that he has completely lost his way, and I would stay way clear. Hard to get out. Stay way clear of getting Phil Jones. I think he's not played for so long, and when he has come in, he's looked very dodgy in League Cup games they've played or Europa League games they've played. He's always been kind of a weak link in that team. I don't think it's worth the option. I feel that he is also on big wages, and it just would not make any sense for Newcastle. Again, I would like us to go get someone who's a bit more hungry, trying to prove himself, rather than someone who's on the way down. Also, I want us to stay clear of injury-prone players. So I'd rate this one as a 1 or a 2 out of 10. Some people say it's a no-brainer, it's a loan, what's the worst that could happen? Yeah, because I think he would come in with the expectation of starting, and for me, Fernandes, Clark, and Lascelles all deserve to be ahead of him and Shah. I don't think he's better than any of them, so I would rate it as a 1 or 2 out of 10. I wouldn't go anywhere near him. The last player that we're going to talk about is Joshua King. So Joshua King has been linked with Newcastle quite a few times. He is 28 himself as well. Oh, he's turning 20. Yeah, he's 28 himself as well. Going to be turning 29 very soon in the next week or so. Also, all the players today have Man U links. He came through at Man United, Norwegian international with 51 caps. He has been at Bournemouth for quite a while. He is a player who can play inside forward or from a wide position. And obviously, with us having Ryan Fraser and Callum Wilson, he knows how they play. He knows the system they play and what they do and how they work. So he'd probably settle in very, very quickly with those players. Now, for me, he's not a prolific goal scorer. The price that has been quoted is 15 million, with Villa also sniffing around, and his contract is up in the summer. Now, would I go and get Joshua King? For me, I think he's an upgrade on Joe Linton. I think he would get us more goals than Joe Linton, but I feel I'm just not sure. I don't think he would probably be worth it. I think we could do better. The one thing with all these signings and all these players that we've been linked with, I don't think they're very imaginative. I believe that you can go get certain players maybe if you do a bit more scouting, anyone looks at relegated teams from the Prem can go get them. It doesn't take a rocket science. But this is why we have scouting departments. most fans could say, oh yeah, we should go get Phil Jones, he's not playing, or we could go get Jesse Lingard, he's not playing. It doesn't, for scouting departments, they need to do better. They need to create like some better names or get some, more creative names. But for Joshua King, I would say, I think he's not scored this season as well. And I just think it would be a risk. He's also not young, so if you're paying 15 million for a 29-year-old, you're not going to get much return if you sold him. I would say we could do better, but I would say he is an upgrade on Joe Linton. But I think everyone's an upgrade on Joe Linton. So let me guys know what you guys think of these 4 players, and please hit the like and subscribe button. I'm trying to build up this YouTube channel so I can provide content for you every day. Thank you very much.